All right, we're live. Um, Lost a huge pot early. Uh, Probably was down less than 200 and staging a comeback. I know I said I wasn't going to stream anymore of these single table sit and goes, but it's kind of where I'm at with it. Blitz is just so unforgiving, those Blitz cash games. I'll probably put some more of them up when I reload this week. If I reload this week. Anyway, anybody got any big plans for the holidays? Thanksgiving, this week. I've had a very, let's just say, horrendous time of a vacation. Uh, I was the victim of identity theft, so my bank card is currently locked till I get the new one. And also, last night there was a huge concrete rock on the freeway, and I could not swerve, or I would have caused a wreck, and my passenger tire just hit it dead on, caught a flat, and was on the side of the highway changing a flat, like 2, 3 in the morning, maybe 1, 2 in the morning. I think I got home around 2, 3. But I mean, it doesn't take long to change a flat. I got a donut. I got a little scissor jack and the tools. I'm pretty quick about it. It was just a really bad spot on the freeway. Um, and luckily it was on the passenger side. Otherwise, I probably would have rode it and did some real damage if it was on the driver's side. Because there's a section of the freeway where they have like the barrier wall up and there's no shoulder. So I did ride it a while, and then there was a spot where there was a little bit of shoulder with some cones, and I just darted in there real quick. And the barrier wall comes back up when you go a little further down. So I got really blessed there to have that spot, and then it was on the passenger side, so I was away from the traffic as far as changing it. So, you know, because that is not a safe place to be. I know of a newspaper guy in Dallas, worked for Dallas Morning News, and his daughter ran out of gas on the side of the freeway. She delivering papers too, and he wasn't near her, so he called another paper route guy that worked for the Dallas Morning News to go, and put gas in her car. And he was putting gas in her car, and somebody hit him and kept going and killed him. He was just putting gas in her car on the side of the freeway, and she was pulled over and everything. So it's not really a good spot to be in, that side of the freeway business. Especially, you know, like this time of year, a lot of people are consuming a lot of adult beverages and intoxicated pretty much and driving. You know, ask everyone if you're going to drink, please Uber. Use Lyft, Uber, ride share, any ride share. Hell, walk. Just don't get in a car. Get on a skateboard. I don't give a shit. Ride a bicycle. But do not get in a vehicle and drive drunk. It's just, it's not a good thing. I was at a karaoke place last night, and there was this group of three people, two guys and a girl, and I think they were all related or pretty much, you know, knew each other or related, and they were really douchey. Like they could sing. I'm not gonna lie, these folks had talent. You know, they can really sing. And you want good singers at karaoke. You can't just have drunk people that can't carry a tune. It makes it horrible. So you got to have some good singers. But they would, if someone sung a song, I'm like, oh, that's my song, but they would go up and stand directly in front of the person that's on the stage trying to sing, and they're singing the song in the wrong key. And then they start singing along with them in the right key. And it's just so rude. Everybody can't hit those notes. You don't have to go stand directly in front of them and sing in the correct key to make them feel bad, or look bad in front of everybody. Oh, I sucked out there. Oh, suck out of the year. Bring in 2022, baby. We done made a comeback from less than 200 in chips off of the first hand to back to basically with just 100 less than a starting stack. Talk about rally in the alley. Man, that's what I'm talking about, baby. Put on a happy face. I know everybody at the table's mad at me for that one. Well, I'm not mad at the $1.65. I'm supposed to be in there. Uh-oh. Does he have a 9? Or is my 2-pair good? He bet when the 8 landed, so he could have 6-9. There's no way we're going to make the right decision here. We're just going to call. We're not folding our 2-pair. Oh, he had the 9. The run good's gone. Oh, me, oh my. Well, that's what it is. You can suck out on someone, and then someone else can suck out on you. So it's, if I make that fold there, it's a good fold. You really should fold to one card straights, that are out there, but take the fun out of poker, I think, if you did. So, I mean, if I didn't hit 2-pair, I probably don't do anything there, The river giving me 2-pair actually gave him the straight. Hell, I think I was winning the whole way, pretty much. Aces and 8s. Good enough for Wild Bill. Let's go to Value Town here. Uh-oh. That ain't Value Town. That's Stack Town there. Somebody's trying to take everything. We just got this, man. Come on. Let's keep it a little while. You don't have to be so mean. But yeah, figured I'd get on here and mess around a little bit. Play a little sit and go, and I finished watching Dopesick on Hulu, which is very good, very educational about the opioid situation back in the day with the Oxycontin stuff and Purdue Pharma, all of that. Yeah, very good. I recommend anyone watch it. like I'm not in the pills or nothing, so, but it was just so good. It was really good. Um, had some good actors in it, and just it's really sad, you know, what they did. If that's what they did in real life, which I'm pretty sure it is, that's why Purdue had to pay all that money in real life. So, but you know, it's really eye opening as far as the justice system is concerned. You know, a crack dealer gets caught with $20 worth of rock, he's going to prison for 10 years, whatever. You know, these people knew that Oxycontin was addictive, and they hid it and lied and, got the whole U.S. hooked on it. Was trying to get the whole world if they could, just so they could make big money. And, a lot of people died. A lot of people got hooked and, you know, later OD'd on heroin or something. It's just all they got away, oh, let's drop the felonies, plead to a misdemeanor, and you got to pay 600 million. You know, yeah, that's the difference between the common man and the other man. When you get in trouble, you have to have the money to be able to pay legal representation, bail bondsmen, all this other crap. You know, otherwise, it's everything's against you. I'm fortunate to have only been in a situation once, and it was eye opening to me, because pretty much before that time, I'd hang around people that did things that I didn't do. I just drink. But I had a lot of people I knew that I went to school with that smoked grass, that was their thing. And it didn't bother me because they've been doing it since we were in school, and I just never partake in it. And we hung around each other, wasn't no big deal. I even dated women that did it and everything. But the company you keep can lead to you getting in a situation you don't need to be in. Just being around someone. Right time, wrong place, or wrong place, wrong time, whatever you want to call it. It's really just so situational, to the point where if I'd have just left 15 minutes earlier, I wouldn't have been in that spot. If I get tens, baby, let's go all in. See what we got. Shoot. And it's really hard to fight and say you're innocent, or because when they get you in court, they're pretty much saying, "Oh, he's guilty. There's no way he's innocent," you know. So talk about some run good here, man. I just cracked aces with tens. And there were 4 spades out there, and the guy didn't have an ace of spades. That is, man, this is like ugly run good right now. I should just go all in with any 2 cards the way it's going. But yeah, I used to play poker in a home game in a garage, and it was two brothers, and it was their parents' old house, and they were renting the house from them. Their parents had a home out in the country, and this was their house in the city. So the boys would pay them rent every month or whatever, and they used the poker game to make the money for the rent. But what I didn't know was that these guys were into like really bad stuff. None of us knew either. We're all playing poker at this game, and there was DEA agents, undercover DEA agents at the poker game because of what these two guys were doing. We didn't know the house got raided one morning, and it turns out they got charged with manufacturing and distribution of heroin. Like they had a presser machine where they could put it in the capsule and all of that. And we didn't know it was in the bedroom. We were playing poker in the garage. We didn't know none of this crap they were doing. We were just playing poker. We're lucky they didn't want to bust the poker game. you know, I mean, I guess from a law enforcement perspective, it's who cares about the cards? Let's get this heroin off the street. And I'm like, good job, guys. Because I didn't need to be going to jail. But man, like you need to like know where you're at, whose place, what they do on the side, if they do anything on the side. Like I had no clue. These guys were hooked on meth, doing it like crazy, and they was doing the manufacturing and distribution of heroin thing. And nobody knew till they got the house got raided. It was crazy, man. It was just bananas. And people only show you what they want you to know, or they have a this is me, my representative, and what I want you to think I am versus who I really am. So you have to, you know, really research people, or just be careful not to hang, or, like I'm at a point now where I don't even go to those games anymore. And it wasn't due to that. It was actually attributed to a bunch of them started getting robbed at gunpoint. You know, I was fortunate to never be at one, but some of the games I went to got robbed, but I was never there. It was like they did it on a night I went to a different game, or they did it on a night that I was out of town or at home sleep. It's just so crazy. And a lot of them were being set up by players that played in the game. They would have someone else rob it. We found this out years later after, the place gets robbed and then nobody comes, so the room gets shut down. People start talking. And it was one player that was primarily just setting up these robberies, having his friends come rob the place. And, someone can get killed in those situations. All it takes is one guy that's a tough guy, and he's like, you're not going to take my money, and decides to try to fight or pull a gun or whatever. Why leave all these living witnesses to, you know, and then everybody's dead because this guy's Superman. It's just, nobody thinks about that. Like, and, I get it. You don't want someone taking your stuff from you, and, it may be your last dollars or whatever, and I get it, but there's a group of people in the room. Fortunately, everybody just complied and the orders were given and nobody got hurt. And that's what you'd want to have happen, you know. Like, I literally advise anyone, even if you're carrying, if guys come in with guns and they got the drop on you, you let them rob you. You give them everything out of your pocket and hope they don't pat search you. And if you want to take action or you're going to take action, you wait till they go outside. They're going to get in a vehicle. And a lot of people don't realize this, but the worst spot to be in a shootout is confined in a vehicle. It is literally a rolling coffin because you don't have cover, you have what is concealment. Those bullets will penetrate straight through the glass, straight through the metal, straight through all of that. So, being in a vehicle and having someone shoot at you while you're in a vehicle, like, you need to get out of the vehicle and be able to maneuver. The vehicle, you're just stuck there. So, if you're ever in a situation where a room is robbed and they get the money and you do decide that you want to be that guy, you go outside and you shoot up the vehicle while they're in it. And just, they're in a confined area. They're either going to have to bail out and you're going to have a really big shootout, or, you're hitting them. If you got shots on target, it's pretty good. But I don't know. Anytime you pull a weapon and shoot at someone that has a weapon, everybody has what I call hero syndrome, where they think, I've got a gun. I train at the gun range every day. I'm highly accurate. True. But that's with no adrenaline, no heart rate going 130 something beats a minute. You running outside trying to get your breathing down, and with no one shooting back at you. Paper targets don't shoot back. And that's what a lot of people don't get. They train at ranges, they train at shoot houses, they train in all of these paperlistic scenarios, still-listic scenarios. And when I say that, I mean paper targets, still targets. Because some shooting houses try to make it as realistic as possible, but you're still not shooting a human being that's shooting back at you. The best probably thing you could do is go play paintball, where everyone has, the ability to shoot at each other, and then you can see the, man, I'm hit, you know. Yeah, because like paintball really exposes that the rabbit having a gun shooting back at you. Whereas shoot houses and three gun competitions, yeah, they're about accuracy and they're about speed, but nobody's shooting back at you. No one has the ability to shoot back at you. And I've never paintballed a day in my life. I've watched a ton of videos on it. I think it's cool, but I don't know, like when I see the price of some of these paintball guns and their replicas of other guns and just how expensive it could get, I'd just rather buy a real gun and go to the range, and I don't care if someone, I'd just rather own the real firearm. I don't plan on ever having to use my firearm for my safety, but it is there for that reason, you know. That's the only reason it's there. It's for safety. Like, nobody in their right mind says, hey, I'm going to buy a gun and collect it. Well, I guess nowadays people do with their stimulus money. You see all these guys on YouTube showing their 2021 gun collection. You know, and it's so funny because these guys never had a YouTube channel where they were showing any gun collections until after the stimulus money hit. And they're like, oh, 2020 gun collection, 2021 gun collection, you know. And some of them may have been there before then, and that's fine. But, you know, I just feel like a gun should be almost like a secret. Like, you know, I never cared for concealed carrying. I never have. I've always open carried, but I do conceal carry from time to time depending on what I'm doing. And when I conceal carry, you can't tell that I have a gun. I mean, you have to really be looking and know what you're looking for. But I just I've taken pictures of my guns and posted and shared on Instagram. I've done videos of me and my friends shooting my guns at the gun range. But, you know, no one knows if those are my guns or if they're rentals or whatever. Like, we're just shooting multiple guns at the range. We just take video and post it, and it's just us goofing off, you know. Not goofing off unsafely. I mean, just like we're shooting and telling jokes, but we're not being unsafe. And I just feel like if you show a video of your gun collection and people watch that video and they know where you live, what's to stop them from breaking in your house and stealing all your guns? You know, I mean, some of these guys are like in apartments, you know, some have homes, but they have like ridiculous tens of thousands of dollars worth of guns, $30,000 worth of guns. Because I'm looking at the guns as they show each one, and I'm like, that's 2,000, that's 3,600, that's 5,000. You know, and I'm just adding up the price that I know these guns cost, and I'm just like, wow, this is, you know, it's cool to have a nice gun. You know, I know some guns are more pricey than others. I just don't. I'm not into the showing my gun collection scene, I guess. Like, I'll take a picture of my gun laying on a rug that's a certain color, and it makes the accents of the gun, you can see it better or whatever, and I might post a picture on Instagram or whatever. You know, you won't see me really doing a gun collection video, bro. I just can't do it. It's not me, I guess. This is a little spot where we're a little worried. Hopefully, hey, we got that. All right, no worries. Kuna Matata looking ass. There we go. Like, I've always been leery of people at gas stations. Like, have you ever been, you pulled up to a gas station, you see the guy that's going to ask you something, but this person walks by and he doesn't ask them anything. This other person walks by, he doesn't ask them for anything. But he sees you and he decides you're the one he's going to ask. What makes you think, ask me instead of them? Because I wear glasses or some shit? I mean, what the hell? You know what? Next guy does that to me, I'm asking him, why did you ask me instead of this guy? It's exactly what I'm going to do. Do I look like I want to give you $5? Because I need to change my whole image if that's what you thought. You know, just ridiculousness. You know. when I was in the city, I'd see the same guys asking for money every day, you know, and they would literally just panhandle and make a ton of money. And I would tell the guy, say, hey man, if you need some money, I do food deliveries. I said, if you help me deliver the food, sit it at the doorstep, I'll split it with you 50-50. I'll come up here and pick you up tomorrow. Here's my phone number. Never called, you know, but he was up there asking people for money. So a lot of people don't have a problem asking you for money, but they have a problem working for money, you know, and I don't know, it irks me really bad that, you know, because these people are making a ton of money every day and they're just using it to buy whatever their habit is, whether it's cigarettes, alcohol, drugs, whatever, all of the above, you know. Like, I had a guy ask me for money and he's smoking a cigarette, and I was like, if you can afford to buy them, you're doing better than me. I don't even smoke. I just wouldn't give them no money. And they hate that, but it's like, shoot, if you can have a habit like smoking cigarettes and you can, because packs of cigarettes cost, and you know, most people smoke a lot per day. So if you can support your habit of smoking cigarettes and you smoke them regularly, I mean, you're doing all right, buddy. You know, I'm just so grateful I don't smoke cigarettes and I don't have that habit, you know, because honestly, I just couldn't afford to do it. I like other things. I like electronics. I like gadgets. I like laptops. I like smart TVs and stuff like that. Video games, even sometimes. You know, I'm really upset about the whole Xbox PlayStation situation, man. Aren't you sick of this? You know, oh, the chips aren't available and all this junk, and they jacked up the price from 500 to like 8 something now that they see they can get more money off of them. It's just like we're just waiting for the regular release so we can get one for 500. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm not paying them no extra dollars. They're just doing that because they know people got that stimulus money and they're like, oh, we can get a big hunk of that if we raise our price too. You know, there were people buying them and selling them for more online. They just go buy them and then turn around and flip them. You know, I know a person went and bought one for their kid, paid too much for it. I'm like, why would you do that? Well, they really wanted it. I was like, well, they'd have still been really wanting it because they had an Xbox One X that worked just fine. They didn't need the new Xbox that bad. Shoot, hell. If they need it that bad, they need to go get a job and help pay for it. You know, pay half on it or something. Shoot. I'll never forget when I was 16. You know, I got a job. I was a telemarketer. And I was making good money because you got a base pay plus commission, and I was good at it. You know, and I got my first car. It was a used Ford Brougham LTD, 86 Ford Brougham LTD. You know, and it ran okay. AC worked and everything. So it had the old radio in it, you know, with the knobs and the little red dial that went up and down. And I was like, man. So I went and got a this is back when Boss, you know, Boss was an okay brand. I bought a Boss wood grain stereo with the detachable face CD player. And man, I just thought it was the bomb. And I wound up getting like some subs and some amps. And man, I put a lot of sound equipment into it. And, I was using my check from work. And my dad got mad at me because he didn't like all that bass and stuff. My pops was old school. He didn't like all that. And says a waste of money and putting all that money in that car and you spending all that money. And I was like, you made me get a job so I could work. So I'm working and I'm paying for it myself. What did you mad? Now you mad at what I'm buying with it? I just, you don't understand. You're young. You're like, what's the point of working if I can't buy what I want? And everything. And I know people frown upon it, but I'm glad he did it. Um, he made me start paying rent. I was paying rent. I was 16, 17, 18, 19. Till I moved out, I was paying rent, staying at my parents' house. And they didn't need it. That house was paid for. My dad would just keep that. And then when it came time to go school clothes shopping, we go to an outlet mall in Conroe, get all my school clothes, and it would be paid for and then some. Or if a band trip came up, it was paid for, you know. But what he was trying to teach me was responsibility. I didn't have any bills, so I just buy whatever I want. And I got homeboys now, 41 years old, and still buying $90 polo shirts, still paying for $55 pair of jeans, and, just name brand. And there's nothing wrong with name brand clothing. If you like fashion, if you like looking good, that's fine. But the situation I'm discussing is this is a person, they have a car, they have a job, but they don't have their own place. And they running around with expensive clothes on and a chain around their neck and a medallion to impress people and look like they got it all. But you living with someone else and you not paying a single bill, you know. And I'm not gonna sit here and say I've never done that or I've never lived with someone or whatever, but it's just if you're constantly arguing with the person you live with, you know, but then when y'all get into it, your words are, well, I ain't got nowhere to go. What are you doing with all your money? You getting a whole check every week for a whole lot of money. All you got is a car note and car insurance. Where the rest of the money going? You ain't paying rent. So, just like, and I've never been big on putting my information on social media. I had a Facebook account for years with no photo of me. And it wasn't because of the way I looked or anything. It was where I worked, just due to that type of situation, you know, just workplace type thing. You know, I even encoded the way you had to look me up if you try to look me up by my name, you know, it's just the line of work I was in. But the person I'm talking about, they're constantly on Facebook just posting their whole life situation, just everything about their life, good, bad, whatever, you know. And I guess I'm just a real private person. I don't like a lot of people in my business, you know. think when my father died, I didn't even post anything on Facebook about him passing away. I don't recall doing it. I've never been a heavy Facebook user, you know. I've been on there more lately, just looking at stuff, that Facebook Market stuff. Sometimes there's good stuff on there. Man, this is my favorite hand. I got Jimmy Neutron suited and booted, and this joker go all in. It's gonna kill my pride to fold these cards. If I fold, I win. If I call and lose, I'll lose this tournament. But I gotta call because that's Jimmy Neutron. Jimmy, get in there and fight, Jimmy. Yeah, Jimmy, get in there and fight. Put an ace on the river. I'll give it you. Got him. That's Jimmy Neutron right there for those of you who don't know. Jimmy Neutron suited and booted. Man, that's crazy. But yeah, a friend of mine, associate, whatever you want to say. I say a friend. You know, I always try to tell him to do the right thing. When he gets angry, he talks about doing some stuff he really shouldn't do that can ruin his life, um, land him in prison or dead. You know, just on I'm upset and I'm gonna go do this. I'm like, no, don't do that. You know, and I think he just does that just to get me to tell him no, don't do it. You know, like he'll call me and tell me about it. Oh, this pissed me off. I'm gonna go do this. You know, he never does it. I don't want to say he's bluffing, because then if he actually does it, it's gonna be like, well, if I never said he's bluffing, he wouldn't have did it. So, you know, I just always say the right thing. Hey, man, you're not thinking right. Don't do that. That's a bad decision. You know, everybody wasn't blessed to have a two-parent household. You know, parents married, been together pretty much your whole life, and you know, was able to provide for you. You know, drug-free parents. You know, there are people that parents are on dope, parents smoke weed, parents smoke crack. You know, just you know, so I get it. You know, I had blessed circumstances, so that's why I always just try not to necessarily judge. But at the end of the day, you have to be maturing and growing as an adult. You have to be on your way to, hey, I'm not going to do this. I know better. You know, like you can't constantly say, well, I never knew my dad. Him and my mama wasn't together. You know, that shit don't fly no more. You 41. Your daddy issues should be over with. You know, just like, you know. And the crazy thing is, you sit here and say you never knew your dad, he wasn't in your life, or you didn't have a daddy like I did, but you constantly posting on Facebook about your father. Happily heavenly birthday, and I miss you, and I wish you was here. And I'm like, what do you miss if he wasn't in your life? See, one minute you claiming he wasn't in your life, but then this next minute you posting about him. So, you know, and it could be they had a relationship, you know, later in life, and, you know, the dad, because I don't recall the dad being there when we were young, just his mom. So I'm sure later in life they met and probably started the bond and he passed. And that's what he's referring to. But you know, you grew up just fine. Your mama worked and provided for you. There's a lot of players in the NFL that single mother provided for them. So, and vice versa. Some had some mothers that was on drugs. and they worked hard and did what they had to do. And you don't have to be a professional athlete. I'm just saying you can be a success at anything, regardless of whatever your circumstances are. You know, a lot of people want to blame their parents or blame everybody else. You know, like I saw just the other week, they was on there saying they didn't have a support system when, I don't have a support system. What? Just like, what is you talking about? I don't have a support system like everybody else. And those of us that do have a support system, we don't really use it. Like, my family didn't know, but I was homeless at one point, and they came and got me. I didn't even call and tell them, just, like I did one time, but I was homeless a few more times after that, you know, and I just did what I had to do, So it's like, you know, I had a job. I slept in my car at a park. I went to a gas station, and the man that owned the gas station, I said, "Excuse me, sir, can I use your restroom?" He gave me the restroom key. And I had a washcloth and towel and bar soap, and I'd take a bird bath in the sink, get ready, put on my security uniform, went to work just like it was another day. I did it for a couple weeks because I was trying to get a hotel room, and it was expensive. And my boss never knew. And he didn't find out till I asked him for my check because they get the checks early. And he didn't want to give it to me early. And I said, "Man, I really need it. I've been homeless, for 10 straight days, sleeping in my car at a park." And he went off on me. He told me, "Don't you ever do that again. You could have slept on my couch." And I was like, "Man, I didn't know you. I didn't want to bother you." And he was like, "I don't care. Don't you ever do that again." But, you know, I think that experience helped me reflect on my father making me pay the rent at the house. I'm paying $350 a month, just you know, for no reason, because I'm buying speakers and sound systems and shit, and you need to learn responsibility and pay bills. And I'm not good at paying bills, Well, I'm decent, I keep a roof over my head and stuff, but I'm not gonna sit here and tell you I pay every single bill on time. I never make a payment arrangement. I'm never late. I ain't gonna tell you that. Hell, but I pay them. You know, do my best to pay them. So that's it, man. You gotta work. You gotta hustle. You gotta grind. You know, this day and age, you gotta have more than one hustle. You know, you can't be a one job one. Being having one job is being a one trick pony. You know, one day my friend called me. He messed up real bad, and he was scared. He thought they was gonna fire him. And I told him, I said, "Man, you just have to file for your unemployment, look for another job, whatever." They didn't fire him, and you know that was good for him. But like, you have to be able to work with other people. Like, nobody has to like you for you to be able to work with them. And you don't have to like the person that you have to work with. But y'all got to work together. And I go through that with the job I work now. You know, I'm the only person that looks like me in the whole building that's an employee. And a lot of people didn't like me because I don't talk. I don't come in and, hey, how you doing? Good morning. That ain't me. Hell, I be half sleep still when I come in. I got to get that coffee in me before I start talking, you know. I got to get warmed up. But that's just how I am, though, you know. And as time goes on, I get more comfortable. I talk to people because we working side by side, but it has to develop naturally, you know. Just come in here and just act like we just bosom buddies, you know. And a lot of people don't like me because when I am vocal, a lot of times I'm just telling it like it is. I speak my mind, and it ain't for everybody. You know, I when I say something, it could hurt your feelings, and it might. In more cases than it more likely will hurt your feelings. But the only reason it hurts your feelings is because it's the truth, and you know it is. That's the only reason a person get upset when you think about it. If I say something that ain't true, what are you so upset about? What are you angry about? If I said something and it wasn't even true, you know, outside of calling you out your name like a bad word, you know, there should be nothing that really angers you if a person is lying about you. But if a person call you something or say something about you and they are 100% accurate, that's when you get upset. You know, that's when you get upset. So I get upset when I'm angry enough to punch somebody, but I know I can't do it because this is a job. And it's like the anger just boils over. I had tears coming down my face. I'm so upset. You know, that's me holding the anger in, the pressure building. You know, I want to peel off and hit them, and I can't. Just holding it in. You know, so that's all. You know, upset I get. You know, and I even told the lead management where I work. I said, you know, I done came in here and talked to y'all and wrote up documentation for y'all. I said, I done cried in this room with y'all. And I said, you know what? I said, I think that's my fault for crying in front of you because you think it's a sign of weakness. You think I'm weak. I said, I only cry when I'm angry enough to do something bad to somebody and I'm pissed and I can't do it. Oh, I know they must have thought the world of that, boy. It's like, this motherfucker's crazy. Get his ass out the office here like he gonna do something now. You know, but I just had to let him know. I said, it ain't weakness. I'm pissed enough to do something really bad, and it's taking all the Jesus in me not to do it. My parents put that Jesus in me. Y'all lucky. Shoot. But yeah, man. You know, work is work, man. A lot of people, I done met some people that quit jobs because they didn't like it. And I'm like, who the fuck is you? I just, I didn't like it, bro. So I just quit. Did you have another job? No. So why'd you quit, man? I just didn't like it, man. So I was like, I said, who do you live with? You know, how do you say that shit to your landlord? You know, how do you say, hey, man, I just didn't like it, so I ain't got the rent this month. You know, whatever the fuck, man. You know, just I don't understand. Like, and I tell people this all the time. They hate it when I say it, but a job ain't nothing but work. And work is work. It ain't meant to be like you doing a job that most people don't like in exchange for the amount they agreed to pay you. Cause hell, if somebody liked it, they do it for free. Shit. If somebody liked what they had you doing, shit. So that's how I feel about it. But some people they don't like hearing that. They're like, man, you can get a job that you like. And I was like, I've never had a job that I liked. Ever. They talked to me about it where I worked at, and it was like, they said, I love my job. And I was like, you love your job? Yes, I love my job. You don't love it working here? Hell no. I told them to their face, hell no, I don't love working here. I said, a job ain't nothing but work. What the fuck is you on? This is Disneyland job you talking about. Wizard of Oz looking ass job where every day is a great day. Bullshit. You are in charge and you don't have as much work to do as the subordinates around here. You the management. So you like your job because you get to come up here, sit in the office and do other shit. You know, if you was out here doing what the rest of us had to do every day, you wouldn't like this motherfucker. That's why you got in the position you got in. Because you knew you didn't want to be out here doing this shit. So, I think it's a game. You know? But, people, I don't know. Well, they say they love their job. I don't think they realize what they really be saying. And it's really dangerous to be that way because this is my theory on it. If you have a job that you love, you're like, man, I love my job. The day they decide to let you go or fire you, you're going to feel like your whole world is over with because you loved it. You know what I mean? You loved it. So versus just having the view that this is a job, they pay me to do this, I'm here doing it, it's work. That's all it is. I ain't gotta love it, they ain't gotta love me, they ain't gotta like me. I got a dude at work that don't even speak to me. He'll come in, speak to everybody else, won't speak to me. You know what? I speak to his punk ass anyway, right? And a lot of people, one of my partners told me, he said, hey man, don't talk to that motherfucker. He don't talk to you because he don't like you. I said, motherfucker, I know that. So why do you speak to him anyway every day? I said, because I'm going to make him speak to me. I'm going to make him see me. And they was like, why would you want a motherfucker to talk to you that don't want to talk to you? I said, because you don't understand the big picture of the situation. This person don't like me because of the color of my skin. So they come in and speak to everybody else, and everybody else's skin color ain't my color. And then they don't speak to me, and then if I speak to them, they act like they don't hear me. So what you saying is, I'm non-existent to you, right? So when I force them to speak to me, it's you're not gonna ignore my presence, even though you don't like the color of my skin. You will acknowledge me. And if you want to ignore and act like you don't hear me, I'm gonna walk up and touch you and say, hey buddy. Yeah, you gonna speak to me. You gonna speak to me, buddy. You gonna do that. That's it's mandatory. You know, you gonna learn to talk to a person that look like me, or I'm just gonna bother you every day. You're gonna have to come out and verbally say, don't talk to me. I don't speak to your kind. That's what you're gonna have to do. You're going to have to verbally say them words, and then I'm going to get you fired soon as you do. But until then, yeah, we're going to make you speak to us. And my partner was like, man, I just wouldn't say shit to that motherfucker. I said, but that's what he want. See, it's a bigger picture. You giving this person what they want when you do that. They want to come in and speak to all them and not speak to you. And then act like they don't hear you when you speak to them. Yeah, that's what they want. But you're not going to let them create that environment. You're going to, you know, it's no matter what you do, I'm not going to let you have that. I'm not letting you win. You know, because I know what your agenda is. You know, and that's the fucking issue. That's the fucking issue. You know, and some people think, man, you crazy, you nuts, and I'm like, man, maybe I am crazy, maybe I am nuts, but you know what? That's just how I roll, man. Cause I don't believe in racism, man. I believe that's the dumbest shit to ever exist. You know, and there's a lot of it out here now. And I ain't racist against nobody. You know, I don't care what color you are. Shit. Hell. Be what you want to be. You black, brown, yellow, white, I don't give a shit. Yeah. What really fuck people up is the fact that I listen to country music. I got partners that look just like me and can't stand it. They get in my car and I'm jamming that shit. Oh my goodness. They be like, man, can you put some hip hop on? I don't want to hear that shit. I want to listen to this good country, right? Motherfuckers think I'm crazy, man. You know, my partner was like, man, you on some weird shit, yeah. But man, it really ain't weird, man. I listen to everything. I listen to all types of music. You know, you can't be a one trick pony. You can't only, I'ma only listen to this. I'ma only listen to that. I'ma only talk about this. You can't be that way, man. If you only do one thing, you only gonna make one kind of money. You only gonna have one kind of friends. You only gonna have one kind of experience in life. You limiting yourself. I'm opening myself to all experiences, you know. So that's all I'm saying. You know, you gotta be able to do that, man. It's bigger than you. And a lot of people don't understand the lyrics to some of these country songs just have you laughing. I mean, just some of the stuff, you know. And the first country song I ever heard in my entire life was You Never Call Me By My Name by David Allan Coe. I was at an all black hole in the wall club in Fort Worth. And they would play this. The DJ would play You Never Call Me By My Name every single night when it was time to go home, for the club to close. Y'all need to go home. He would play that. And there was these black cowboys. I mean, black guys with tight jeans and cowboy boots, hats and everything. And they get on the dance floor with a woman and be dancing to it. And I just liked the song because I listened to the word. This guy played this every Friday and Saturday night at this club. And I was at this club every weekend. And you hear it over and over again. And you just, you know, it's the last song of the night. So eventually you just start learning the words. And then you listen. You're like, oh, shit, this is some crazy shit. You know. So that was, you know, and I wound up in Dallas singing karaoke with some friends. And I would always sing that song. And my partner was black. And he said, EA, why you singing that song? I said, because I'm from Fort Worth, Texas. You know, he's like, no, man, what you sing that song for, man? You know that motherfucker's a racist. I said, well, he a racist. I ain't. Shit, that's just a song. He was like, man, I wouldn't sing that song. And I was like, you sing Michael Jackson, don't you? They say you mess with them kids. But don't stop you from singing Michael Jackson. I said, you sing James Brown song. They say you was messing with that dope. You ain't on dope. You know, hell, I'm not supporting his racism. I said, really, if you think about it, the racist people that like his song is pissed off when they see me get up there and I'm the one singing it. You know? So you got to look at it from that point. And the thing is, I just like the song. Hell, you know, it was just, I mean, I was introduced to it in an all black bar, but he wanted to accuse me because we was at a predominantly white establishment that I would get up and sing that song because these white folks was here. And I was just like, no. I go to the when we go to the black karaoke bars, I sing that song too. You know, but I don't know. You know, he was older than me. And, you know, I sing old 60s soul like Sam Cooke and Otis Redding. And he would want us to go in there and sing nothing but that. Like, man, we need to sing nothing but Marvin Gaye, Sam Cooke, Otis Redding, Stylistics, nothing but black groups. Like we the Soul Patrol. We gonna come, you know, sing nothing but soul, baby. No, we ain't gonna sing nothing by any white people. You know, and I'm like, I don't care what color they is, man. If I like the song, I'm singing it. You know, I listen to everything. And, you know, I just, what he didn't realize too is a lot of country music is easier to sing than our music because they don't do a lot of range. They're not all over the place. You know, you sing some Marvin Gaye and some Sam Cooke and Otis Redding, you getting a workout in. Your voice is gone the next day. You're not singing Jack the. Oh, come on, man. I got pocket nines. Here we go. I'm a fold, man. All right, y'all. I gotta take a little break. This coffee that I had earlier, in addition to everything else, is getting to me. So I'm gonna just disappear for a second. Alrighty, we're back. Whew, that coffee go through ya, buddy, buddy. Yeah, Man, it's kind of crazy how I was down to less than 200 the first hand. Now I'm in contingency up in this camp. That's what's up. Got a few run good situations where hit two pair when I shouldn't have, all that type of stuff. So I take what I can get. Take what I can get. So I just started watching this new series. It's called Why, the letter Y. This is Why, the Last Man Standing. I just watched episode 1, season 1, and it's like all the men on the face of the earth just die. Just like start bleeding from their nose and mouth and die. And it started with the animals first. There was all these animals that was just suddenly dying. And basically what happens, one guy survives. He was asleep with his headphones on, so I'm thinking it's something to do with your ears, that they heard something or some decibel death radar thing, some scenario like that, because he had on like some Bose headphones, sleep, and he's the only one that survived. All the rest of the men on the face of the earth are dead. All the women lived. So I'm gonna check it out a little more. Wow, look at this crap. Crap versus crap. Oh. And the crappier crap won. Ha ha. All right, we are one away from ITM. For those of you who don't know what that term means, it's in the money. So, with this guy having so few chips, I probably should have raised there, but if he shoves, I can't call. So, but I should be looking to blind steal every opportunity that it comes around, just to keep him down on chips. And, oh, well, maybe he's gone. Six or a queen. Six or queen. Six or queen. Queen. Okay, we're in the money. So we've secured a profit of at least some type of chunk change. Oh, we're just gonna ship it with this. I know. No, we should just raise. Well, hell, a raise represents over a fourth of our stack. Yep, we'll just ship it. Maybe we'll double up. Maybe we'll double up. Come on, cuz. Come on, man. These mother jokers, they be... Twos don't never hold up to ace king in this fucking game. They do on this one. Golly. No shit. I've had twos and there been two overs that hit and the guy had an ace and he won. This is some bullshit. Take whatever little W's you can get. Small victories count. See, there's one that's 3 of 9. I could get on. I don't know. Take a little break. I'm gonna end this stream and end this session and go watch an episode of that new show I was telling y'all about. Why? It's an hour long, and then I'll come back on and play another one.